What do we have for Scorpio? Judgment. Pluto, Scorpio energy at the foundation of the reading. Three of Swords, Libra energy at the sacral. Wow, Scorpio. This goes along with the message I got for you leading up to the reading. The message I had was you are stuck in the middle of the biggest transformation of your life and dwelling on what they did to you and if they will ever take responsibility for their actions and come forward and do the right thing by you. What do we get? Judgment and Three of Swords. However, this Judgment and Three of Swords from this deck is different because it gives us a different vantage point of the energy. I feel that this Judgment card at the foundation of the reading, which is your energy, Pluto, Scorpio energy, is representing the astrological transit we are sitting in right now with Pluto at 0 degrees Aquarius. And this has been a theme throughout every single one of the zodiac signs because it is very significant. This is a major turning point in your life, Scorpio. And I would go as far as saying that every reading I've done for the past 6 months has been speaking on this time that we're getting ready to step into right now. It's time for you to step out of the shadows, Scorpio, and finally step into the spotlight. We're also having this Leo full moon right now, which really speaks on just that energy. I feel that there's a major goal that you are getting ready to accomplish, or you're actually about to align to be able to pull this off. Either way, you're going to be stepping into a season where you're going to be gaining a lot of attention and recognition for all of the efforts and work that you've actually put in to your life, Scorpio. A lot of you have just been hidden away in a kind of hermit mode, keeping to yourself, just working on all the fine details of all areas of your life. And now it's time for you to come out from underneath that rock, Scorpio. And this Three of Swords at the sacral position, I feel that this is you seeing this heartbreak or this letdown that I mentioned at the beginning of the reading from a different perspective now. You see that it's the one thing standing in your way, and you're finally having some level of peace here in the knowing that the only forgiveness that you will get from this situation is the forgiveness you give yourself. The love you give yourself. That really speaks about something deeper, Scorpio, because I feel that this path you've been on has been about just that. You figuring out how to truly love yourself so you can start living the life that the divine has always intended for you to live, so you can start aligning with your mission and your purpose as a means to fulfill your destiny. You're starting to realize it's not about anybody else and what they may have done or how they may have treated you. It's about how you pick yourself up and keep pushing forward despite the chaos and horrendous obstacles that have been laid out on your path. In other words, Scorpios, you found a level of peace inside of you that I don't even think you ever even thought you could access. Now, this doesn't mean that you're not still in a kind of spiritual war in your own life. It just means that you've become very peaceful and balanced in your approach and your treatment of self. But this is all necessary because you're starting to practice self-preservation. See, Scorpios will sacrifice themselves, all their needs, their emotions, their desires, just to make somebody else happy. And because of this, you've always aligned yourself with people that weren't for your highest good. This is why when you take this path to heal all that, a lot of you will start to find that you need to distance yourself from people to be able to recalibrate how you perceive love, how you love yourself, so you can start attracting new individuals that are in alignment with that new perception that you have surrounding love. You may or may not have love in your life right now, Scorpio, but one thing is for certain. This is a love story that I'm reading here. It's a love story that you're having with the divine, God. This is you realizing who you are and enough of what you came here to do to get marching forward on your path so you can start pulling victories through left and right and leave all the failures of the past behind. You've had enough now, Scorpios. You are stepping into your winning season, and all those who opposed you are going to have to sit and watch from the sidelines as you not only live the best possible life that you could ever imagine living, but you become the greatest version of yourself that has ever been on any timeline ever. There's no more avoiding who you are, what the divine has in store for you. And what I mean by that is, Scorpios, even before you're completely awake to your purpose or your path, or you start to have little hints of it, you have a deep knowing that you're here for something much greater. And sometimes you'll hear people say that, like, oh, I just know that I'm here for something greater. And everybody thinks like, oh yeah, whatever, don't we all? But that's just it. You really are. That's the Scorpio energy. See, even through the darkness, even through the chaos and the struggles that you have all had to march through in your life, you have always had that deep knowing. That's what's actually kept you going. You've had that deep knowing, and that's what kept you going. Exactly. I also like to call that the divine tether. No matter how far you go into the darkness, there's always a tether connecting you to source, to spirit, to God, to the divine. So you can never forget where you came from. Your life becomes a series of events to try and awaken you to what you actually came here to do. And this is what this particular astrology that we're moving through right now is awakening you to. Now, this doesn't mean that you're going to figure out every single detail of your life and know exactly what you came here to do. None of us ever really know that. But you do get enough information to get moving on the path. And then as you start making your way, more and more is revealed to you. Now is a time that you need to start advocating for what you truly desire in your life, Scorpio. You have the full force of the divine right behind you, backing you up. And those who stood in your way or may try to attempt to stand in your way from this point forward are in for a very rude awakening. Not only are they going to witness a certain kind of greatness unfold in your life, they're also going to start really understanding what karma really is and how it is unfolding in their lives. And as you can see here, the divine in this depiction is staring directly at you. Let's say you're that child there. And let's say this is family members. It could even be your parents who held you back. Take it as it fits. It could represent friends. It could represent exes. But the divine is speaking directly to you and showing you very clearly what's been standing in your way. Everything is shifting. We have the white birds flying up and we have the black birds flying down. It's giving the energy of some sort of balancing, some sort of calibration, some sort of change in the atmosphere surrounding your life. And it's also giving me a message that most of what's been holding you back, Scorpio, this can be said for, I'd say, almost anybody. A lot of this has to do with inner childhood wounding, right? See, Scorpios go through really weird parenting dynamics, childhood dynamics. There's a lot of darkness in their younger years. And all of this usually buries itself on a deep subconscious layer, starts rearing its ugly head in Scorpios' lives as they get older. This is all the stuff that you're being healed from now, right? And what a card to depict what I just said. All the characters that have been playing these roles in your life, reading from a script, now leaving. They can't get away with the tactics they once used against you. You see right through it. There's a perspective shift that's happened in your life, Scorpios. Again, it's all because of this astrological transit. Pluto, your planet, is the leading character in the great show of life right now. You are it, Scorpios, and everybody has their eyes on you. What do we have, the solar plexus? Ah, wow. Justice, Libra energy at the solar plexus. I have a huge smile on my face right now, Scorpios, because as we can see here, we're seeing the back of the Justice card, and there's two people holding this little baby, right? That baby is what you're birthing into the collective, the creation. This thing that you have, that you've been working on. It could even be a vision that hasn't materialized into something yet, but it's right here for you, right behind the throne of the Justice card. It's like the divine is like, yes, Scorpio, don't worry, we got your back. We just need you to move in a particular direction, and then everything will balance in your favor, Scorpio. You have a win here. And this goes back to what I was saying here. a change in the atmosphere. What's yours by divine rights cannot be taken from you, Scorpio. It can only be delayed by those who didn't want you to have it. But the fact that you know it's there for you now, they can't get away with it anymore. They all have to leave the show. See all those people? This is giving me like a, I'm just thinking Truman Show right now. Like a whole reality constructed to keep you asleep or distracted. It's over now. You see right through it. You see through the lie. Scorpios are also made to think that you've been forgotten about, which is interesting because you have that divine tether, like I was saying. That's exactly why the divine gives you that tether. So when you start to feel like you've been forgotten about or that you're not important, the divine can tug on the tether and try and wake you up, try and remind you, no, Scorpio, you're the main character in the play. But the karmic cycles that Scorpios go through are so dark, horrendous. It's all because of who you are. You're the 8th house of transformation. So you got to go through the darkness before you can experience that light. The divine needs you to have a certain level of wisdom and appreciation. You become an example of greatness, Scorpios. You really are it. All the Scorpios I've ever known that have woken up to who they really are, to their power and purpose, have just done phenomenal things. Once you come online, wake up to the matrix, the simulation, Scorpios, you can't be stopped. In the spirit, you're just this mammoth force of transformation. I mean, that's who you are. You are put into these dark environments, these circumstances, with family, friends, people you date, put through horrendous karmic cycles of chaos and destruction to try and wake people up. And what's interesting is you'll be put in these cycles before you're even awake yourself. The divine is using you as a vessel. But it's you being put through so many of those cycles that is actually the trigger to your awakening. You start to see these patterns. Why do I keep ending up in these same situations? Why do I keep dating the same people and then having the same things unfold? Why do I keep getting stuck with the same kinds of unloyal friends who stab me in the back? Why do all my family members want to destroy me? Why do I feel like everybody wants to take me out? Eventually, all of that is what shakes you awake. Accepting all of that is the hardest part of the mission. When a Scorpio awakens, they start to realize that there's little to no individuals that have been in their life up until that point that truly have their back. And this is when you start to nurture this connection with your higher self, the divine, God. This is when you have this newfound sense of love. You start to nurture yourself and you start to understand that when you have the full force of the divine that has your back, you don't need any of these imposters in your life. That's the path of the Scorpio. Your judgment. And you also represent the Death card, which is the card of transformation, Phoenix rising from the ashes. And you represent the Tower, along with Aries, Mars energy. All three of those cards speak about what I just said. They are the definition of this energy that I'm reading here for you, Scorpios. You reflect people's ugliness back to them. That's what the divine has used you for up until this point. However, there does come a point, Scorpios, where your mission has been completed and you can now move on to the rest of your life. This is when you take everything you've learned, you transmute it into something beautiful and positive, creative arts, whatever it may be for you, books, music, podcasts, content creators, so many different things. And you start giving back all of the wisdom that you have learned. There's two lives of a Scorpio. There's the part of your life where you're going through the darkness, and then there's the part of your life where you step into the spotlight and you show everybody what you have. And this is where we're at now, Scorpios. What do we have at the heart, please? 10 of Wands, Sag energy at the heart. This is also the season where you're having a review. You may be having a lot of memories flood back to you, Scorpios. Dreams of people that were once in your life, different karmic cycles you've ran. No rhyme or reason to any of the memories or thoughts you may be having surrounding certain individuals, but there's some sort of subconscious review taking place here. But you are now being called to lay all of your burdens down. Forgive all of those parts of yourself that didn't know any better, because that's what forgiveness is all about. You forgive yourself for not knowing any better. You let go, and you allow yourself to feel the freedom like wind underneath your wings. This is now the cycle you are stepping into. This is over. Scorpios will keep carrying those wands up that hill. even after God tells you you can put them down. No, God, I just got to keep going. God's like, Scorpio, your mission here's done. You can move on now to the rest of your life. Go be happy. Go show the world what you got. No, God, I got to keep going here. And that really speaks about how long some of you have been in these cycles for. I really know that feeling. There's a kind of madness to it. You're so used to being the underdog. It's hard to imagine anything else. But the divine's working with you right now, Scorpios. For those of you that may be struggling a little bit to stop and take a load off, I feel like you can breathe now, Scorpio. This is a kind of adjustment period. But the fact that you feel like you do need to keep going says so much about your character. You've been programmed to sacrifice all these different parts of yourself for the happiness of others, and you never even knew that it was all a plan to keep you on the hamster wheel, chasing your tail. Scorpios are the subject of an intentional kind of wickedness, and usually, sadly, it comes from the family. But where you're going, Scorpio, there's new family waiting for you. There's a new tribe, however it shows up for you. Everything is new. Nothing from the past cycle will remain. And you're going to realize more than ever that that thing that you had inside of you before you woke up to who you are, that was telling you you were here for a specific reason or something special, you're about to be shown what that is, Scorpios. What do we have at the throat? Ace of Cups, wow, right there at the throat. Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces energy. So this really speaks about what I was just mentioning about all this new energy, this new family, this new tribe, the rest of your life, so to speak. Hand of God. But there seems to be this vantage point where this hasn't happened yet, right? It's getting ready to. See, this perspective on these cards, it's as if Spirit is leading you around, showing you these different scenes in your life, putting it all together in a cohesive manner so you can have a full understanding of your path up until this point. The Divine showing you, Scorpio, this is where you're going. This is why you need to release these 10 wands now. Let go of these burdens and allow for this new energy to flood through. Ace of Cups right there at the throat. There's a lot of emotion I'm picking up here. This is also you speaking your truth. This is all about love. Again, it's all over this reading. It's this new kind of love you find within yourself that gives you the keys to this new timeline. I just heard childlike wonder, right? If we look in the back of that card, it just looks like two people just frolicking in the water, right? I feel like this is representing the kind of energy you're going towards, Scorpio. It's like you have a smile on your face again. You have love in your life. What do we have at the third eye? Oh, wow. Temperance, Sag energy at the third eye. And here you are, Scorpio, looking at yourself, right? The Divine showing you, Scorpio, that's where you're going. That's the path. Temperance, all about meaning and purpose, alignment, balance. There's a huge emphasis on emotional healing here, Scorpio. It makes sense. I feel that this is one of the necessary ingredients to access this new cycle. You know, I've been mentioning to all the other zodiac signs that with Pluto at 0 degrees Aquarius, like it is right now, we're all having this kind of review of everything up until this point. We're being asked to let go of all the things that no longer serve us moving forward and prepare ourselves for a new kind of energy. We're being asked to let go of any of the burdens or these outdated belief systems, these mindsets, these patterns that we've been running, this outdated program that we've been functioning with, and to start preparing ourselves for the new. It's as if the astrology is all of us at a sort of central hub, like a grand central station, and we're preparing to head to the next destination. This is very much what the energy is right now. And it's as if the Divine has said to you, Scorpio, I'm going to need you to forgive yourself and then start loving on yourself like you never have before. Because this is the new version of you that is going to put you in the spotlight of your life in this new life cycle. The divine wants you to put you on the center stage of your life. The divine wants you out in front, Scorpio. For a lot of you, that's probably anxiety-inducing to hear that, but that's exactly why the divine wants you there. What I've learned is the divine is always going to push you in the directions that are uncomfortable for you, because that's where the greatness always exists. And I feel that this temperance is just that. It's like you're on the center stage watching yourself. Divine showing you, hey, Scorpio, that's going to be you. And you're like, no, I don't know if that's for me. Divine's like, no, Scorpio, that's where we want you. We want you out in front. What do we have at the crown, please? Hermit, Virgo energy at the crown. Wow. Very interesting. It's like here you are. This is you now. This is where you're going, right? Coming into the light and out of the shadows. Scorpio is coming out of hermit mode. Scorpio is being put out in front, on the front lines. Scorpio is being put in a position to where everybody can see them, because God wants everybody to witness the greatness that is you. You've been seeking so much understanding. You've been in this energy of introspection. A lot of you have been in solitude, just soul searching and trying to figure it all out. I feel like you did. You figured enough out. But this was never how it was always supposed to be for the rest of your days. Some of you, I think, thought that that's just how you would live the rest of your life. Chances are, if you do feel that way, the divine's about to show you that it's actually completely the opposite. Remember what I said. The divine is always going to push you in the direction that is most uncomfortable. That's where you discover the most extraordinary parts of yourself. What do we have at the foundation, please? Ace of Cups. Beer, so we have it twice now. But this is Ace of Cups in its negative polarity. So this is representing the resistance. We're seeing very clearly here an opposing energy. This is the darkness of the past, the previous karmic cycle, trying to re-engage you. I just heard they're blaming you for what they actually did. They're inverting reality or inverting the truth. In other words, they're not taking responsibility. This is what you're letting go of now. Goes along exactly with what I said at the beginning of the reading, when I said you were caught in between. This is what that is. And it's right underneath that judgment, which is representing the divine sentencing those energies that were keeping you stagnant inside that space and allowing the scales to now tip in your favor. I mean, here's the divine courts right here. It's all working together. Judgment, justice, this Ace of Cups in its negative polarity, this Three of Swords. This is the divine assisting you in the letting go. Oh, I understand now what they're trying to convey here. You waited, I feel, for quite some time for some level of responsibility for these energies to take over what may have happened in your particular cycle with these individuals. But it never came. So now the divine is using you as an example, as a means to deliver a kind of sentencing and karma to these individuals who kept you in this cycle for far too long. I just heard they are a poor excuse for a friend, a mother, a father, a sibling. Take it as it fits. A lot of you were made to feel like you owe them something all the time. So that's another cycle that the Scorpios have to overcome in their life. People want you to think that you're here to serve them, that you're just a supporting character in your own life and that it's not about you, it's about them. A lot of you accepted that because you didn't know any better. It's like a person who has been taken away from their family and placed with another family who kept them in a kind of Cinderella energy. And as they get older, it's exposed to them that they're actually a kind of royalty or connected to very important figures in the world, and that they have a kind of royal inheritance waiting for them. This is a perfect example of the Scorpio energy, but it's all in spirit. It's a kind of spiritual inheritance. This is the best way I can try and explain what I'm picking up here for you. People are going to be absolutely beside themselves when they find out the kind of level up that you're having in your life and what you're being given access to. It's like the divine used you to test these individuals' characters by way of their treatment towards you. What do we have? The sacral? Too many cards. What do we have? The sacral? King of Swords, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius energy at the sacral. Wow. This is a very tyrannical, very cruel energy. This is what a lot of you Scorpios had to deal with. A lot of you Scorpios grew up in some really abusive, toxic environments, whether it was physical, verbal, mental. Most of you have been carrying this with you. This is what you're being healed from now, Scorpios. You've been through so much darkness, so much struggle, so much letdown. But now you're about to witness the power of the divine and what it means to have the scales tip in your favor. What was once up now must come down, and what's been down now must come up. The underdog is now being positioned on top. And the thing is, for you Scorpios, you're the right person to be in that position. Because you don't care to be in that position. You're the kinds of individuals that have the power to obliterate different kinds of tyranny in your life. I just heard shock and awe. The people never expect it from you. The divine has you hiding in plain sight. You're like a spy. You come online at the perfect time. It's like God uses you all as vessels to do his bidding in these individuals' lives and bring them before the divine courts. What do we have at the solar plexus? Ace of Swords, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius energy at the solar plexus. Citri, you've overcome a lot of chaos. There's a lot of failed efforts and just all sorts of tampering that has taken place behind the scenes without you even knowing it in areas of your life where you kept hitting dead ends. It's because it was all done by design. And then those who were actually the ones orchestrating all of these blockages and this resistance in your life have also been staring you directly in the face, telling you that maybe it's just not for you, Scorpio. And Scorpios, it will always be the ones closest to you. That's what makes transformation so incredibly difficult, because that realization is the hardest thing to overcome. Individuals you thought loved you and cared for you actually being exposed by the divine as your worst enemies, and that are minions of the underworld, tentacles of the devil that have been working meticulously in your life to keep you out of a certain space where you can bring change, awakening, and inspiration. It's like waking up from a nightmare, Scorpio. You do start to look at your life up until that point like it was all a bad dream. But at least you're waking up now. At least you're facing the truth. And at least you have nothing but love and success waiting for you just over there beyond the horizon, Scorpio. What do we have at the heart, please? Wow. Bereth, King of Cups in its shadow polarity. Catastrophe and haste. So this is interesting because I was talking here about physical, mental, verbal abuse, whatever you may have dealt with in your life, Scorpios. All of us have gone through something or another. But again, for Scorpios, it's quite extreme. It is long-lasting, and this really represents that. King of Cups, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces energy in its shadow. This is a horrible energy, but paired with this, King of Swords and King of Cups in their negative polarity, horrendous energy. This is an energy of emotional abuse. It's an energy of being taken advantage of. And for you, it's been by the people closest to you. A lot of emotional manipulation inside the Scorpio collective. And what happens when a Scorpio doesn't wake up? They just become what was used to repress them and abuse them, right? So they become the darkness. They become the poison that the enemy gave to them. They themselves become the venom that the devil used against them. But not this group of Scorpios. This is you waking up from this. Six of Wands, Shahia, longevity, Leo energy, victory, success. This is also representing a personal triumph in your life. Right underneath that 10 of Wands and right above this King of Cups in its negative polarity, you've beat the devil at his own game by becoming the polar opposite of the tactics that they actually used against you. They attacked you with the dark, so you became the light. They made you feel unseen and unloved, So now the divine positions you so you're always seen, and you are the epitome of love. What do we have at the throat, please? Three of Wands, Aries energy at the throat. Setail, the god of hope, construction of the universe, help with great works, protection from adversaries. Visionary energy on the table, Scorpio. This is an energy of expansion. You surrendering to the divine, laying down your burdens, and stepping in to the power position of your life with full support by the divine. You don't even really need your eyes to see, because you have a whole spirit team right behind you that is guiding you every step of the way. And this was all a part of your promise from God for all of your hard work inside these karmic cycles, Scorpios. What do we have at the third eye, please? The star, Vasaria, Aquarius energy at the third eye. Perfect. God the just, clemency and equilibrium, protects against attacks in the courts. Just followed what I just said. I mean, the star is all about you being in the spotlight of your life, miracles unfolding. And right here, protects against attacks in the courts. So here's the divine protecting your blessings, your creations, what you're manifesting, right? And then here you are with it in the palm of your hand. Right underneath that temperance. Power, purpose, meaning, miracles, and hope. And it's at the third eye position. So this becomes your entire reality. All which opposed you in the previous cycle has now been shifted out of your energetic atmosphere, is what I just heard. Right? So this is this energy. The darkness leaves, the light enters. See the black birds, the white birds? The atmosphere shifts. The scales tip. Balance is being restored for the first time ever, I feel, in most of your lives. You haven't felt this kind of energy before. Scorpios will be driven right to the edge. You'll never feel like it's going to happen for you. That this was just the life you were supposed to live. And then, boom, just shifts and you awaken from the nightmare. The divine is here, ready to show out for you, Scorpio. You just need to accept. What do we have at the crown, please? Close set for Scorpio. 10 of Swords. Wow. Gemini energy at the crown to close out the reading. Luia, the marvelous God. Revelation, protection from sadness, gives revelations in dreams. Goes back to what I was saying about you quite possibly having a lot of memories and things from the past coming up in your dreams. And this is all because the cycle is closing. This is what the 10 of Swords represents. It's like this is the iron door being put over this cycle in your life. It's closed. The portal's closing. You're stepping through into the new one. And then all those eyes, right? Those are all the eyes that are on you. All the people that now have to watch from the sidelines as you move on. Step into the greatest season of your life. And they are met with the harsh realization that they were all used as vessels for the underworld to try and stop you from stepping into your greatness. That in and of itself is a very harsh realization that these individuals now have to live with. But they did it to themselves. That's the life they chose to live. But the divine is now using you as an example of a life well lived, an inspiration for all those who may also be on a similar path, who need a light in the darkness that you yourself have overcome and managed to navigate yourself out of with help from the divine. Prepare yourselves, Scorpios. What you have coming your way is nothing short than dreams materialized into your reality. Scorpios, this is the message I have available to you, depending on where you are on this timeline, should you choose to accept. I'm going to go ahead and leave it here. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. And if you would like a personal reading, you can find all of my contact details in the description below this video. And thank you for your donation, Scorpios. Take care.